much anyone knows about these. I don't know much. This is the air-operated windscreen wiper motor. It would only go one way and stop, wouldn't return. Now I've pulled it all apart and had a look, and I actually found the problem was this vent was blocked off with a mud wasp, had I been more observant. So there's a couple of things to sort out inside here because my memory's not as good as it should have been. But we'll work that out as we go. Now one thing I did find is this spring-loaded tab. It actually looks like a rotor button a bit, doesn't it? That works the valve, the slide valve inside here, off the arm. This spring part was actually bent right over the wrong way, so I don't know how it worked, but it did. And that pushes weight onto here, this bit here, which actually drags the valve underneath. When I pulled everything out, I sat it all in order. It came out. This bit here, I didn't take enough notice of. So it only has 4 possible combinations, this valve. And all done that way and that way, I think. And that way it actually works, but it doesn't work. I've done that way and that way. It works, but it doesn't work right, so we'll try this way with the doohickeys, with that mechanism pointing up in there, like that, and see what happens. Put it back together and give it another try. Most things only, when they're built, they can only go together one way, but this is one of those things that obviously can go together more than one way. I've got the wipers working, but they're not working right. Now, for those that have never worked on one of these before, like me, it's got park to the left-hand park, right-hand park. And on the other side here, there's a vane that moves across, and air fills up, drives this way, then drives that way. Depending on which way you have that pushed, this will park to the left-hand side, because when that chamber fills up with air, the vane will be pushed all the way around. Okay, and here, it's got run written on there, you probably can't read that. And there's run on this side as well. And this is the exhaust to let the air out. Now what I found was, when I cleaned it all out and put it all back together again, clean this valve here out, and this is like a non-return valve, check valve, but this is the exhaust. The air would run continuously out the exhaust. Now I would expect, but I don't know, that there'd be a pulse with each transition, if that makes any sense. So if it starts over here, when it comes around, this exhaust will be open to let the air that was pushed this way back around to this way, so the air can come out. And then when it goes back the other way, it'll swing to the opposite side, and it'll push the exhaust, would work empty out this side, not continuously. Now what I've also found, asked a few questions, and no one's really answered me, so this has movement sideways in it. And there's air runs out of here continuously, the whole time. Air runs out of this exhaust, whether they're travelling, whether I'm hanging on to the end, whether I've got it locked in the vise and I can't shift, air just pours out the end. And I reckon that in this housing where this vane is, I reckon the bits of rubber are badly worn. Now of course you can't buy seal kits for these, so I'm going to pull it apart and have a bit of a measure, see what I find. Okay, what I think's happening is air's getting past this vane that drives the wipers in there. Is this true? I don't know. And that's why the air's running out all the time. So we'll have a bit of a measure. It's just under 38 mil. It must be recessed in there. We are as well. It makes it harder. Okay, so we've got, this will be metric, I mean imperial. Okay, I don't know whether this is going to work or not, but I made some new rubbers and put them in. I think we'll cover the whole lot in Vaseline. Probably have to trim these corners a bit, and hopefully we'll get a result of some description. Anyway, wish us luck. I made new seals for this windscreen wiper motor, and that seals up a lot better. But I learnt things. It didn't make any bloody difference. So I did put out the call on the forum about how do these work and everything else, and no one really answered me, because I gather no one knows. It's just in the too hard basket. Well, after dicking around for days and changing seals around and making seals and everything else, time for a new one. I've stuffed around with that wiper motor for 2 or 3 days. Now the reason being, because no one else probably would, is because, I'm not sure if you can read that, $594.01 for a new wiper motor for an R model Mack from Mack. And call me Teddy Tight Ass, but that's a ridiculous amount of money, I think. So I thought, I've made new seals and vanes, not vanes, new seals and things. I've proven what's working and what's not working, and I can get it to work. It wouldn't pull the skin off a rice pudding. So I was out walking the dogs this morning, and I had a thought. I wonder if I can convert it to electric. And so I did some Googling when I got back, and yes, you can. Because the problem with these, they're one speed. I don't know why they kept air wiper motors for as long as they did, but they did, and they might still put it on brand new Macks. I don't know, I can't imagine it. So I went to town. I actually Googled, $100, $200, you'll buy yourself a 3-speed, variable speed wiper motor that sort of measures and fits and should be able to make a bracket and fit it in there. So went to town, made some inquiries. I'm waiting to hear back, and we'll wait and see. But I'm thinking that's going to be the way to go. I can get 2-speed intermittent motor that is actually only no bigger than this one here, and I'll have a shaft that I can hopefully adapt something to, and I can buy a little bracket that'll go on that I can weld stuff to it to make it work. And I just think, why wouldn't I? It's I know why I stuffed around with it, because it was nearly $600. Okay, got the new wiper motor, and here's the old wiper motor. So what we have to establish, when you pull this out, it parks in the middle, whichever way that is. It actually parks, and this bracket's parks in the middle like that. So we need to establish on this one where the middle is of its travel. Now, I don't know whether you can see this or not, but this wiper's no good. It just goes round and round. No freaking good at all. The one that goes backwards and forwards. Back to the drawing board. Okay, so after stuffing around with this for 3 days, 4 days, trying to make new seals, trying to do this, trying to do that, then ordering up an electric one that was supposed to replace it that didn't go backwards and forwards, just went round and round. Some more phone calls in town, and they said there's a bloke in Melbourne, other end of the country, that rebuilds these for an extra $30 above the cost of all the other hoopla. I wish I had been told this to start with, so I never got his name or number. They wouldn't give it to me, they just sent it down to him. So it's been down and back, and we'll put it back on the truck, and hopefully that'll be the end of my air wiper motor blues problems. We'll see how we go anyway. But look at that. So no drama. We'll put that on and see how we go. So, let's put this puppy back together into my trusty bread tin supply. This here is like the dog, whatever you want to call it, that links it between the two. Oh yeah, that's a lot tighter in there now. Oh, hope the thing works. And that has to go, if you have a look, they're offset, they're different sides. So this one here, with the shorter one, goes outwards like that and faces towards the top so the dogs can log in. Woof. We have the wiper motor reinstalled. There's a bit of a story to this. Let me explain. It's not working any good now, is it? Okay, I'm going to try to explain as best I can. It's a bit smoky. Someone dropped his eye thingy and cracked the glass. Now, we don't get a lot of rain in a lot of Australia, and I've never really used the wipers much. They've always been crap since I've owned the thing. I put the wiper motor back on and it wouldn't travel the full circuit. You do about 3/4 of it, go all the way one way, probably 3/4 of the way back. So I called the shop, they called the bloke that rebuilt, that organised for the bloke to rebuild it down in Victoria at Melbourne, at Cranbourne in Melbourne. Apparently he's the only one that rebuilds these air wiper motors in Australia. Now I don't like air wiper motors for a reason, and the reason being, he's only got one speed. It's crap. Like really? How many years were you going to build it with one speed? Now, those of you that are smarter than me will tell me, swearing at their computer right now, going, you're an idiot. And guess what? They are correct. So I phoned this bloke up and he said to me, we spoke through it, a few different things, check this, check that, and we did all that. I think this bloke's 79 or 72 or something. Anyway, he's in his 70s. And he's very patient with me, which is good, because when you're an idiot like me, you need a bit of patience to deal with me. And he said to me, have you increased the pressure? Maybe just increase the pressure. I said, I've got it running at, whatever, 100 pounds. Like, how much more pressure are you going to need? And he goes, pardon? And I said, pardon, and we went backwards and forwards a few times. And he said to me, he goes, you pull the knob out? And I go, yeah. And it goes one click. And I said, yeah. And he goes, you've got to turn it to the right. And I said, pardon? He said, turn it to the right, varies the speed. So I pulled it out, and I haven't got the wipers on the arm, but look at that, it works. That's on the slower speed. Now if I turn this to the right, all the way, I never knew this. What a dickhead. Look at him, they're humming. Oh! That's amazing, isn't it? Turn it back that way, so you push it anywhere, and then you push it in the parker. Back over there. So that parking there, that's where you viewed the arm, that's where the glove box normally goes. The new glove box I made should go in there. Could not believe this. And this bloke's at the other end, he couldn't believe that I didn't know. And I said, well, that explains why they're always such crap, because I didn't know you turned the knob. I've just pulled it out and pushed it in and swore at it. Oh, what a dick. Anyway, good news is that part of it's solved.
I got the windscreen wiper blue. I got the windscreen wiper, the windscreen wiper blue. I got the windscreen